Welcome. My name's Bob Harb. I'll be moderating today's program, and we thank you for tuning in. I'd like to also specially thank the library trustees, the library itself, the staff, and Dean Zanello, who's helping us film this. April is Child Abuse Prevention Month. It's announced that annually by the President of the United States. So we're here tonight to talk about child abuse and the prevention of child abuse. We have with us tonight Mike Rametta from the Knights of Columbus, the St. Luke's Church Knights group. We have two representatives from Haven, Sarah Shanahan and Erica Skogland. We have a representative from the Michael B. Christensen Family Support Center in the Greater Merrimack Valley, Sarah Wescott. And we have a representative from the Exchange Clubs of America and the Plaistow Exchange Club, Cindy Harb. So some of you may have rode around town and saw the blue ribbons and the blue pinwheels that were at the town hall. Those were placed by the Plaistow Exchange Club in memory to remind people that April is Child Abuse Prevention Month. All of these representatives here tonight thought it would be appropriate, since this is Child Abuse Prevention Month, to talk a little bit about it, the things that they do, the things that maybe you can do to help prevent child abuse. So I'd like to turn it over first and start with my far right, Mike Rametta of the Knights of Columbus. Mike, welcome. Go ahead.
Thank you for the invitation. I'm happy to be here. I want to thank Dean. I want to thank you and the Plaistow Exchange Club and our partners here. We're all here with the same thing in mind, a common purpose, the well-being of the children in our communities, and we're looking to heal and grow our communities in a positive way. So we all bring something a little bit different, but with that same common purpose to the table. I am a member of the Knights of Columbus, and that's Council 6617 from St. Luke the Evangelist Parish. And if you don't know too much about the Knights of Columbus, two of our founding principles are charity and unity. And what that really means is they're faith-based, and it means that we need to put action to our faith. And we also know through unity that if we work together like we're doing tonight, we certainly can accomplish more for whatever goals we're setting, and we can benefit by the cooperation and the new friendships. The Knights of Columbus is celebrating this year, as a matter of fact, the 50th anniversary. It's been doing charitable works, not just in Plaistow, but in the larger community out there for 50 years. What we really do is fill our pockets with hope every morning, and we try to go out and just dispense that in the best way we can. A couple of things we're doing this year that are related to children, and I'm just going to mention these briefly. This is the 29th year that the Knights is presenting an annual St. Jude Memorial Open golf tournament, and that's in Apple Hill Golf Club in East Kingston. Now this year there are children involved, and the money we raise, and it's substantial, we hope, will go to two families. One family has a 15-year-old son with a rare genetic heart disease order, and the mother of that son also has physical problems and some financial problems, so she's going to benefit greatly from that. There's also another family that has twin daughters who have another physical disability and some medical issues, and they're kind of struggling at this point, so we're going to help those two families out this year. Every year it changes. We just look for whoever needs support in our community, and children are involved many times in this. You know, child abuse is a complex issue, and it rears its head in many fronts. We also raise money through our Tootsie Roll drives, and we donate that locally to the New Hampshire Special Olympics, to the clubhouse in Haverhill. We look at the bigger community at large here, and our newest opportunity to work with children and families is a place called New Generation. It's in Greenfield, New Hampshire, and what they're doing is establishing support and pathways for pregnant women, for women with children who are homeless, And there's various reasons why that is, but they have support and help and a path of hope forward right there. So we support all these organizations and people, physically with labor and financially. Thank you.
Thank you, Mike. And on behalf of the Plaistow Exchange Club, I know recently you made a donation to the club for one of their programs, which is giving teddy bears to the police, fire, and ambulance service. And I know they thank you very much for that, for your involvement
I was pleased
in
at the invitation to attend that meeting. And when everybody came walking through the door, it was a powerful statement. They were very grateful indeed for the work that you do. We were happy to help you out.
Well, we all thank you for that, and I know the Knights are a great organization. Next, I'd like to call on Sarah Shanahan. She's with Haven. She's going to tell us about Haven, what it does, and maybe how you can help. Sarah?
Absolutely. Thank you so much for having us. So my name is Sarah Shanahan. I'm the Communications and Training Director for Haven. And we are the merged agency of two agencies you might be familiar with, Sexual Assault Support Services and A Safe Place. And as the merged organization of those two former organizations, we've been serving Rockingham and Stratford County for 45 years. So this is our 45th anniversary. For those of you who might not be familiar with what we do, we are your local prevention and crisis support services center. We are one of 12 organizations in the state under the umbrella of the New Hampshire Coalition Against Domestic and Sexual Violence. And we're here to respond and support anyone in our community who's impacted by sexual abuse, domestic abuse, stalking, or human trafficking. And so what we find is that a lot of people in the community know one of the things that we do, but very few people know all of the things that we do in the community. A lot of people are familiar with our hotline. We have a 24-hour free confidential hotline. Again, for anyone who's impacted, when we talk to people in the community, we want to be very clear that when somebody suffers from abuse, it impacts the whole community. So we are there not only for survivors, but also for their family, their friends, their coworkers, other people in organizations who are responding to and working with survivors. So that's a 24-hour hotline. We also have a chat and text feature from 9 o'clock to 4 o'clock. And then we provide a lot of support in person as well. So we have in-person support by appointment at our Rochester and Portsmouth offices. We can also have advocates come to you and meet you where you're at. We provide accompaniments in courts for folks who are seeking restraining orders, or if you have a court case related to abuse. We also provide in-person accompaniment at police stations if you need emotional support there. And we provide support at all of the hospitals in our catchment area. So if somebody is a victim of sexual violence in particular, we will have an advocate at the hospital with you within 30 minutes of a call. So we're in your communities all over the place all the time. One of the other ways we provide support, in addition to emotional support and safety planning, is in the area of housing. We know that housing is a really big issue for everyone right now. So we have a shelter, which is for folks who are in imminent danger. And in addition to that shelter, because we know that a shelter is not enough, we have a supportive housing program. So we work with individuals to help them find permanent, safe housing. The other pieces of what we do, which is really why we're here, is we have a really big outreach program. So we are also in your communities at health fairs and community events and National Night Out. And we rely on our small outreach staff and our larger group of outreach volunteers to help spread the word about what we do and what services are available. And Michael here is one of our rock star outreach volunteers. He's incredible at reaching out to the community and sharing about Haven. He's also a very accomplished writer. And we are so grateful to have him. He's also the reason that we're here today. And then the other piece of what we do is prevention and our services for youth. And so for me, that's what I've dedicated my career to. I started with Haven in 2001 as a prevention educator. I am still here. Erica started not long after me. And so we are in your schools as well. We're in schools all across Rockingham and Stratford County, classroom by classroom, talking to kids about how they can stay safe.
Yeah.
And so I brought a very special friend with me today. I brought one of our educators who goes into schools to share with you just a little bit about what we teach kids and also the grown-ups who take care of them to help kids stay safe.
Yeah. Hi. My name's Iris. I am one of those educators. I go into schools and I talk to kids in kindergarten through fourth grade. Okay, well, I don't talk to all those kids, but I talk to kids in like first through fourth in kindergarten. It's my friends. There's a seal and there's a monkey, and they talk to the kindergartners. And then I talk to first through fourth graders about keeping their body safe. Then some people, they talk to the fifth graders, and that one's about boundaries and how to set boundaries and how to respect boundaries. In sixth grade, we talk about healthy relationships. Again, not puppets, but people talk about healthy relationships, what you want in a relationship, how to be in a relationship. And when we talk about relationships, we're talking about like any relationships, not just like dating kind of stuff, but like everybody's in relationships all the time, right? With your family, with your friends, with all the people that you know. So it's important to know how to make sure that those relationships are healthy, right? And then we also, in seventh grade, we talk about sexual harassment, which is really important. And then in eighth grade, we have our care series, which is 2 parts, and that is all about consent and victim blaming and how to help friends if they need help, if they need support. That's what we do.
Wow. You know a lot about those programs for older kids.
Thanks.
I
do.
I know that you talk to younger kids.
I do.
So when you talk to younger kids in the schools,
Yeah.
like, how do you teach kids how to be safe?
I say, be safe. No.
No.
So when I go into a classroom, because that's what we do, we go classroom by classroom, I teach kids my safety rules. And my safety rules are things like, well, the most important one is my body belongs to me, because it's important to understand that you're the boss of your body and you get to decide what happens to your body, and you need to respect other people, their personal bubbles, that's real important. We also talk about how touches in the private areas are only to keep me clean and healthy. That's really important, clean and healthy. That touches in the private areas are never a secret. Never, never. And that if I'm hurt, confused, or scared, I can talk to a grown-up I trust. And then we help kids make sure that they can think of some grown-ups that they trust that they could talk to if they ever need a grown-up's help. And then we also say that it's never too late to tell. Whenever you're ready, that's the right time. And to keep on telling until you get the help that you need. If you talk to one grown-up and they're not helping, well, go and talk to a different grown-up. That's really important because all kids deserve to be safe. And we think it's important that we go into schools like year after year to teach the safety rules because, just like with fire safety or like the dentist and things like that, you learn those safety rules over and over and over and over, and our safety rules are important too.
Yeah, that was great. Those are some really great safety rules.
They are.
And do kids have an easy time remembering those safety rules?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, first of all, we're not just like we're fun and we're silly and we do fun stuff, and the kids really like having us in their class. And then they learn the safety rules too, and they repeat them and they hear them year after year, and so they do. Sometimes even when they're like in middle school or in high school, they'll say like, "Oh, I remember my body belongs to me." Like they'll think back to the safety rules, and they really like having us there and learning this stuff.
That's wonderful.
And we know that after we're in schools that we do hear about kids disclosing. That means that they tell someone, disclosing abuse and getting help, and as terrible as that is to know that it's happening, it was happening already, and us being there helped that child know that they could get help, that they could talk to someone, that they didn't need to keep it a secret anymore. So that's really amazing and really important.
That is really amazing.
Yeah.
So I know there's a lot of grown-ups who are probably watching this.
Oh.
So if you
Hello.
were going to give grown-ups some advice about how they could help kids be safe, what advice would you give to grown-ups?
I mean, listening is important. Having open communication, like talking to the kids in your life, checking in with them, seeing how they're doing. That stuff is really important. I'd say respecting boundaries for kids is really important, right? Grown-ups need to respect those boundaries too. I would say one important thing to know that some people aren't so good at is not forcing hugs and kisses on kids, right? Like sometimes you're like, oh, grandma's leaving, give her a hug. And then you're like, no, you have to, it's grandma. And, you can love grandma and not want to give her a hug. And that needs to be okay because, again, kids need to know that their body belongs to them and they get to decide who touches them, right? And if we're forcing hugs, then the message we're sending is if a grown-up wants a hug, you have to give it. And that's not a very safe message, right? And then I think also using the proper terms for body parts is really important, right? We call an elbow, so when we're talking about private areas, we should call them by the correct name too. That's an important way to keep kids safe because if a kid is trying to tell somebody that something's happening to them and they're using pet names or weird names, people might not understand what they're saying. And that would be really sad if someone's trying to get help, but they can't be understood. So there's no shame, just use the right words.
That is really good advice.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much for coming.
I could talk all day about this
I
stuff,
know.
but I'll stop because there's other people that need to tell you important stuff too. But we see this year we've already seen over 10,000 kids. We see a lot of kids, and I mean we'd like to see kids in your community too. We need more volunteers. We need more money. We need to get more educators so we can be in more places. Thank you.
Well, thank you very much. It was very informative and interesting.
Thank you.
Sarah, you mentioned the 800 number, but I don't, my bad hearing, did you give it? Would you like to give that 800 number, the hotline?
Yeah.
I would love to. And I don't know it off the top of my head. It is, I believe it's 603-994-SAFE, S-A-F-E.
Which is hard because a lot of people don't even know there's letters with the numbers.
I know. Kids nowadays don't know that there's
But there
numbers.
are.
Do you have a website, Sarah?
We do. You can find us at www.havennh.org.
We're also on the Facebooks and the Twitters and the X and the Instagrams, all the stuff.
Yeah, you can find us all those places.
Find us all the places.
And Erica, your friend mentioned a bunch of sticking points and things that the children should be aware of. Do you happen to have any handout little index cards with those points in it that someone might be able to get from you? If I know you're wicked busy.
Yeah.
Wicked busy, so
Wicked.
you can't be every place.
I wish.
But maybe they could contact you to get that card. Is that possible?
Yeah, we have bookmarks that have our safety rules. We have stickers that have our safety rules. We have a T-shirt contest every year in the classes we go in, so we have T-shirts that have our safety rules. We have coloring book. We have all kinds of stuff. And so, yeah.
And they can contact you at that website to
Yeah.
get those things.
Sure.
Well, that's excellent, and I thank you for bringing your friend here with you.
Yeah, just try to stop me.
And the next Sarah probably says, how do you follow that out?
For all your stuff, and I'll just say it.
I'm inspired.
Hey.
So our next speaker is from the Michael B. Christensen Family Support Center that was started by the Exchange Clubs of the Merrimack Valley, Sarah Wescott. She's on the advisory board there and has been for a while. So Sarah's going to tell us a little bit about the Michael B. Christensen Family Support Center. Sarah?
Thanks for having me, Bob. The Michael B. Christensen Community and Family Support Center is located inside of Greater Lawrence Community Action right here in Lawrence, Massachusetts. They have a couple of major roles that they help with the community, and mainly that is with helping parents navigate stress and also helping them find the resources that are out there to help them in those times of stress. One thing that we always know is that child abuse is led to from people who don't feel like they have the groundwork beneath them to support them. So the folks and the social workers over at the Michael B. Center are able to provide and teach those families how to find those resources and also give them tools to, when they have that stress that they have to deal with, how to navigate through that. There are a couple of different ways that they do it. The most important one being our Strengthening Families and Parent Aid model. And in addition, they teach the parents positive discipline. They are teaching them how they can put food on the table, how to balance their work, their fun, and also give their kids everything that they need to strengthen their own minds and kind of break that cycle of abuse and what is maybe going on behind closed doors. In addition to all that great work as an advisory board member, our goal is to be a fundraising vehicle. So we have multiple events throughout the year where we are helping supply the funds to keep their programs going. One of those coming up is on June 10th of 2024 at Wyndham Country Club. We will be having our annual Drive Against Child Abuse golf tournament. So we do invite everyone to come down and check it out, and please participate if you can. But most importantly, when we think about what Michael B. is doing for our community and how everyone can help, they don't only take referrals from DCF, although that is the largest place where the referrals for the cases come in. They also help people right off the street. So if you are someone who is struggling to maybe find a place to live, to put food on the table, to balance those stressors of everyday life, you can walk right in to the Michael B. Christensen Community and Family Support Center in Lawrence, Massachusetts, and they will help you get everything that you need in order to make ends meet and start yourself on a path of success, not only for you as a parent, but for your children too. Thank you.
And I know they're focused or based in Lawrence, but they do serve the lower New Hampshire cities and the Merrimack Valley, is that right?
Absolutely. So we are, on average, have a caseload of about 50 to 60 families that we're working with on any given day. And of course, that's a revolving door. So as people are graduating from the program, there are new people coming in. But we get referrals in from Cambridge and Boston all the way up to, Salem, New Hampshire, Plaistow, New Hampshire, farther north into Manchester. So we are one of the go-to places for DCF to reach out to because the Exchange Club model is a very successful and proven model that works.
Thank you, Sarah. And I want to reach out to our public and tell them why it's called the Michael B. Christensen Community and Family Support Center. I had the fortunate ability to know Michael B. Christensen. He was a young man. He died early in life of a heart attack, but his focus and things he tried to do in the community was to prevent child abuse. And when the exchange clubs and he was the president of the Lawrence Exchange Club. He and I worked together to build a club in Lowell, and his focus was child abuse prevention, why he supported the exchange clubs, because we'll find out about what the exchange clubs do shortly. But when he died and money was raised to start this family support center, everyone thought it was appropriate that he did fundraisers and helped people, and his family thought it was outstanding that it was named after Michael. So I wanted to do a shout out because I'm sure he's listening someplace to us, and thank him for all that he did while he was with us to prevent child abuse. And that focus, that energy continues with the support center and volunteers like Sarah that help. So thank you, Mike, for all you did. I'd like to next introduce Cindy Harb, my wife.
In case you wondered.
In case you wondered why she had the same name as me. Cindy served on the National Board of Directors for the National Exchange Club, was a candidate for national president. She's been in a number of organizations, and Cindy's going to talk to us about how the Exchange Club got involved in child abuse prevention projects, what kind of projects we do, and then she'll talk about the Plaistow Exchange Club and some of the things we do here in Plaistow. Cindy?
Hi, thank you, Bob. Yes, it's very exciting to be here and talk about exchange. It's one of our main focuses is child abuse prevention on the national level. The national board is very involved in making sure that the individual clubs have whatever they need in order to provide the prevention possibilities and the fundraising that can be done. Being on the board, I was part of a committee that was involved with that, and we were coming up with different ideas to give to our clubs that they could do to help their local communities. We also did fundraising with our clubs, and it's a big deal. I've been part of starting new clubs, and I'll let you know that most of the people that joined the clubs at that time when we're chartering a new one is because of the child abuse prevention focus that we have with our clubs. The Plaistow Club has been here 20 years?
2005 we started.
2005, I started the Plaistow Club, and it was a big focus in Plaistow because we really didn't have anything local that we could put our fingers on that would help child abuse prevention. The club grew. We are at the Pollard School several times a year, handing out flags, having the police come and talk to them about what they do and what they have the ability to contact the police in the local area. I think the club has the most fun, as he spoke about earlier, is giving out the teddy bears to our police and fire. The purpose for that is to have them in the vehicles, so if they come across a bad crash or they come across a fire and there's kids that are involved, they give them the teddy bears and it instantly takes their mind off of the crisis that's going on at that time. The police said that's been and the fire have said that they've appreciated having it, so we do it once a year this month. We make sure they're stocked full with their teddy bears, and they use them all the time, and they said it's been very helpful. The club also does as Bob spoke about, if you go by the town hall, the pinwheels are out there to remind everybody during this month that it is child abuse prevention. And that helpful is you need to speak up. I know it's hard, and if you see something, you have to say something. And that's very important in our environment that we live in right now. The Plaistow Club, we're always looking for volunteers. We can always use the help, so you can contact us. We have a Facebook page if you're interested in joining our club. We meet twice a month on the second and fourth Tuesdays. And we march in the parade. We're the ones that hand out the flags at the parade in town. And it's just fun. We have a lot of fun. We enjoy the work that we do. It makes us feel good that we're able to help the community in many ways, and especially the child abuse prevention. It's a big part of our organization as a whole, and there isn't any club in the country that isn't taking part in doing something in child abuse prevention. Thank you.
Thank you, Cindy. And for our viewers, the Exchange Club started in 1911 in Detroit. It moved now to our headquarters are in Toledo, Ohio. In 1979, our national president was Dr. Ed North. He was a pediatrician from Mississippi. And the club was looking for a national focus, something that all the clubs, all the chapters could make sure they did something and to unite. Mike talked about unity. The Exchange Club's motto is unity for service. So we all believe in unity. And so Dr. North put it out to all the members, let's find a program that we can do. And since he worked with kids, he said, I got an idea. Why don't we make our national project child abuse prevention? And they did. The members voted to make that a national project. Today we have about 75 of those centers, like the Michael B. Christensen Center, throughout the nation, working to prevent child abuse. So from one little idea, that mustard seed that a doctor had to say, why not? Why can't we make a difference? Exchange stepped up and said, yes, let's do that. And now 75 centers, including the Michael B. Christensen Center in Lawrence, are working to prevent child abuse. Dr. North has passed, as Michael did, but I know he was very proud of all the work that we do for child abuse prevention, that it started with him and an idea, just an idea. And I think all of these groups that you heard from, the Knights, Haven, Michael B. Christensen, the Exchange Club, we all have that same focus of making our communities and protecting our children a better place for them. And that's the national motto of most service clubs and most people that volunteer. How can I leave this world a better place than I find it? Do I have an obligation to do that? How do I fulfill that obligation? And as we always say in Exchange, but have fun doing it. Like I know Erica's friend has fun talking to the kids. So we're glad to partner with anyone that has that same focus, whether it's the Knights, Haven, the Center, Family Support Center, or other clubs. The Exchange Club works with other service clubs, Lions, Rotary, Kiwanis, because when you get together in a room of service people, and many years ago, almost 25, I was the national president of the Exchange Club, and we have national service groups get together once a year. All the presidents of all the clubs get together, and it's very interesting. It's almost like a party of people wanting to make America better. And we're all working to help the children, help the community, and it's so interesting how we all have that common desire. And as I travel the country and talk to people about service, I tell them, you know, it doesn't matter which group you belong to. What matters is that you go out and serve and give back, because you can't write a check for that, and it just does so much good for your well-being and your heart. So before we finish, I'm going to give each of these speakers a chance to talk about, again, if they wish, how you can join their group, how you can contact them, what we can do. But remember, we're all in this together. As Mike said, we're united to make Plaistow, to make New Hampshire, to make New England, to make America a better place. And this month, focus on protecting our children. So I'll go back to Mike. Mike, last words for us?
Thank you, Bob. The important message, I think, here tonight is that there's a group of people, and they represent a larger group of people. And if you're impacted by anything we're talking about, child abuse, sexual, domestic violence, whatever that issue is in any shape or form, no matter who you are or what you call yourself, there's an opportunity for you to get help. And it's help with people who you can trust. It's with people who are going to provide you with an opportunity for you to make important decisions on your own and empower you and walk along with you and stand by you as you go forward. So just know that if you're watching this program, tell friends and family about it. And as a member of the Knights of Columbus, I would just say this in terms of membership. I'm not here to hawk membership tonight, but I will say, if you have misgivings about anything the Knights of Columbus do, we have open public meetings the first Monday of every month, right at St. Luke the Evangelist Parish. You're welcome to drop in. We have families come there, children, teenagers. Women are a big part of our organization. We have associate women members. So, you know, forget all the stereotypes of what you think. We're just people who, as I said at the beginning, will put in action to our faith. And this is just another opportunity for us to do that. And we all do it in our own particular ways. But the goal is still the same, like Bob certainly spoke so very nicely about, is to, you know, to build community and to help people heal and improve the situation one person at a time. So I thank you for the opportunity to speak this evening.
Thank you, Mike. Sarah and Erica.
Sure. So we have so many ways for you to get involved with Haven. If you are interested, whatever your skill set is, we have a volunteer opportunity for you. Also, if you just like going to events, we have some great events coming up. We have our Kids or Our Business Breakfast this Friday at the Wentworth by the Sea Country Club over in Rye, New Hampshire. And it's a wonderful event that highlights and showcases our education and prevention programs. Yay! We also have an arts-based event for Sexual Assault Awareness Month, which is April, also acknowledging Child Abuse Prevention Month. And that is coming up at the end of April. It's going to be at Seacoast Rep. It's a dance and theater piece that is really celebrating survivors.
Courage Speaks, it's called.
It's called Courage Speaks. You can find out about it on our website. And the last thing I want to let you know about, we've talked a lot about preventing abuse. And in our work with kids, we knew that it was also really important to provide kids with more support. So we have a brand new program. This is our second year. We are the first New Hampshire affiliate of Camp Hope. And Camp Hope is an evidence-based program. It's year-round mentorship for kids currently age 7 through 11 in Rockingham or Stratford County. All of the events are free, and it culminates in a free week of summer camp. So if you have someone in your life who has experienced abuse, who could use an experience to really build resilience and be in community with other kids who are healing, and doing some goal setting and creating hope for themselves, please reach out, because we are still enrolling campers in our free camp program.
Excellent, thank you. And I know you're at the health fair in Timberlane annually, so we thank you for showing up and
Yes.
letting people know what they can get and do and to have help. Thank you.
Thank you.
Erica, does your friend have any last words for us?
I mean, usually, yeah. Just there's lots of ways. Like Sarah was saying, there's lots of ways to help, and just come out and support us or say hello. And yeah, if you know kids that could benefit from our camp program, we would love to have them join us and teach them all about hope and finding hope for their future and believing in themselves, because that's really important.
Thank you very much. Sarah?
Yes, thank you, Bob. I just want to say that if you're a parent out there and you feel like you could use a little bit of help, don't be afraid to ask. That is what the Michael B. Christensen Community and Family Support Center is there for, whether it be just getting connected with social services or it's somebody to talk to and ask for that support. They're there to do that so that whatever you're experiencing doesn't affect the life of your child in a negative way. Thank you for having me, and I hope this reaches lots and lots of people.
Thank you. I know Dean's going to show it about 1,000 million times on cable, and we thank our local cable group and Dean and the library for that opportunity to be here. Cindy, a few words?
Yes, I do want to welcome and ask for your support. The Plaistow Exchange Club could really use some volunteers. We do get a lot of support from the community in our events that we do have on, but we'd like to be able to do more, and we would need more help in order to do that. This community has been gracious to us. The library's been gracious to us to have our meetings here, and we support the library a lot ourselves too. So if you're interested, please let us know. We can be reached on our Facebook page, and that's it.
Thank you. And again, remember, this is April Child Abuse Prevention Month. The symbol of child abuse prevention is a blue ribbon. You probably see many people wearing blue ribbons this month. If you don't have an enamel blue ribbon, take a cloth piece of ribbon and just make a little bow and put it on your lapel or wear it on your dress or whatever. And when people ask you, why are you wearing that blue ribbon? Say, because today I'm wearing it to help prevent child abuse. And the more of us that go out there, the more that people think about the problem, the easier it'll be to address it, to face it, and to eradicate it. The Exchange Club centers, their main goal is to go out of business, like I'm sure Haven is.
Oh, yeah.
We don't want to open more centers. We don't want to have more places. We would like to put them out of business. And what does that need? That, again, needs all of us united together to take a moment to help someone or to help yourself. It's okay to help yourself. I always remember that the airlines say when you're on a flight and the oxygen mask comes down, I was told, remember, they always tell you put it on yourself first. So it's okay to help yourself. It's okay to become in need and to call all of these groups and say, you know, I think I need some help. Reach out, because that's why they're all here to help you. So again, I'd like to end by thanking the library trustees for this opportunity, Dean Zanello for taking his time to tape this and then edit it and show it on cable. And you have a whole bunch of groups here that you can call, and I'm sure there's others locally. Get involved, have fun, do good, and may your life get better and more fuller. Thank you very much for tuning in, and we hope to see you again around town. And thank all of our panelists today. I'll give you a round of applause. Thank you. And thank you, Dean. That concludes our program.